Hello, 6th grade. Welcome to day 11. We are going to practice converting units within the customary system. The customary system is also on your 6th grade star chart. For length, you will be converting miles to yards, yards to feet, feet to inches. Volume, here are the customary measurements, as well as for weight and for mass. So when you are converting within the customary measurement system, in previous grades, you converted using multiplication or division. So we are going to practice using proportions to convert within these units of measure. So a conversion factor is a ratio in which the number or the numerator and the denominator represent the same quantity. So that's the same value. But they use different units. So you're going to use your 6th grade star reference material to get the conversion factors needed to complete the conversion. So here's our first problem. Joe and Nick often ride their bikes to school, which is 1.2 miles away. How many yards are equivalent to 1.2 miles? So first you need to look at your reference material. You're going to set up a word ratio. For example, since we are converting miles to yards, we would do y to m, or m to y. The order for what you have in the numerator or versus the denominator doesn't matter when you start. What's important is making sure that you remain constant. So, and we'll model that in a problem. And then set up your proportion, and then you can either find a scale factor or go fishing. Okay, so since we are converting yards and miles, I went ahead and set up a word ratio. This is step 1. We have yards on top, miles on bottom. Then I'm going to come over and look at my star reference material, and I am going to find where I have miles to yards. And I see that 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. So I come back over and I set up my proportion. So I'm going to put yards on top, 1,760, and miles on the bottom. And I am taking that from the ratio in my reference material. So now our actual question is asking us how many yards are equivalent to 1.2 miles. So again, with staying consistent with lining up your work, yards is on top. Since that's my question, that is where my x is going to go. So we will give that its variable. We'll put that on top. And then miles is 1.2 or 1 2/10, so we put that on the bottom. Now we are going to be able to go fishing. So I'm going to multiply diagonally, and then we're going to swing around and divide by 1, and that will give us our answer, which is 2,112 yards. Now let's scroll down to the bottom half of your paper and practice another problem. Okay, so here's our second question. It says, Carly drew a line 1 yard and 2 feet long on the sidewalk. How many inches long is the line that she drew? So first let's set up our word ratio. Okay, and you're going to set it up with feet on top, and we are going to convert feet to yards, or we can just do yards to inches. So first we're going to convert yards to feet, and I'm going to come over here, and since I am talking about distance, we're looking at our length section again. And I see that 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. So that's an easy conversion. We can just take that straight from our reference material. Now we need to convert feet to inches. So I can also look and I can see from my conversion chart that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I'm going to take my 3 feet that we've got from converting yards to feet. And then I'm going to add the 2 feet that I have. So we know now that we are going to have a total of 5 feet that we will be putting in our ratio. So our ratio is set up as feet over inches. Now that I know I have 5 feet, we'll put that over X. And then our last piece of the puzzle is determining how many feet is in 1 inch, which is 12. So then I can set up my second ratio of 1 over 12. Now you can also put 1 over 12 first and then 5 over X second. The order that your ratios are, the order of your fractions, doesn't matter as long as you have all your information for feet on top and all of your numbers for inches on bottom. And then we can go fishing. We're going to do 5 times 12 divided by 1, and that is going to give us 60 inches, is how many total inches the line is going to be that Carly drew. So I want to go on now to the bottom. We're going to convert some ounces to pints. Okay, so now we're going to solve using customary units of conversion. Mary made 200 fluid ounces of lemonade. How many pints of lemonade did Mary make? So I want you to please practice solving or setting up. Let's just practice setting up. Want you to use your word ratio first. So ounces to pints or pints to ounces. And then I want you to look on your star chart, and we are going to see that here is our customary measures of units. And let's just review this real quick. 1 gallon is going to be 4 quarts. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 pint is 2 cups. 1 cup is 8 ounces. So you are going to need to know that there is 8 ounces in 1 cup, but that we have 2 cups in 1 pint. So that means that if there is 8 times 2 is 16, so you are going to have 16 ounces in 1 pint. And all I did was work my way up the conversion chart. Because if there's 2 cups in a pint and 2 is doubled, 1 times 1 is 2, I can double the 8 times 2, and that tells me how many ounces are in a pint. So you can use this conversion ratio in your proportion. So go ahead and set that up. Pause the video to solve it. When you're done, you may resume the video. Pause the video now. In our first ratio, they converted ounces to cups. Then they set up a second proportion to convert cups to pints. And this is an excellent way to solve it. You don't have to multiply them together like we did. But I'm going to temporarily use this space at the bottom to go ahead and show you the first example that I was talking about. Okay, so here's the other ratio that I had first spoken about. You're going to have 16 ounces over 1 pint. That is our conversion that we found from multiplying 8 times 2. Then your question is, if you have 200 fluid ounces, how many pints is that? And so we are going to go fishing. 200 times 1 is 200, and then divided by 16, and you will get 12.5 or 12 and a half pints. So we're going to practice one more problem, and then it'll be on to the homework. So Sign bought a new truck that weighed 6,500 pounds. What is the weight of this in tons? We are going to use this conversion here. And just to break it down, we're going to go ahead and set up 2. So first, I want you to convert. Oh, actually, we just need 1. I apologize. Let me undo that. We are going to use this conversion right here. 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. Pause the video, set up your word proportion or your word ratio, then your proportion, and go fishing. When you are done, you may resume the video to check your work, but pause the video now. Okay, you should have gotten that there's 3 2500 tons is equal to 6,500 pounds. Check your word ratio and your proportion with what is on the notes. After you are done, you may copy these examples at the bottom of your notes, and that is going to conclude this lesson. Pause the video until you are done copying these 2 examples at the bottom, and then you may move on to homework 11. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.